my name is Marie. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video, I'm working on a family home in the world of Evergreen Harbor. And as you can probably tell, for some reason, I was very excited to build in the not so modern, not like eco-friendly, more, I guess, polluted version of Evergreen Harbor. So if you didn't know, Evergreen Harbor is the world that came with the Eco Lifestyle expansion pack. It's one of my favorite expansion packs from The Sims 4, I want to say. It's really, really good. And the world Evergreen Harbor comes with a couple of different versions, if that makes sense. Because through gameplay, you can enable neighborhood action plans, and one of them, which is called the Modern Developments Neighborhood Action Plan, actually modernizes the world over time. So it cleans it up over time and it makes the builds more modern, and it's going to add some like really cool modern details to the world, and it's just going to clean everything up. And it's really, really fun to like see the world change, the entire like apartment buildings and stuff, because Evergreen Harbor did come with apartment buildings, and those like change entirely over time. And it gives you like different doors and windows, and it's just really, really cool to see. So whenever I think of Evergreen Harbor, I think of very modernized builds and very like eco-friendly builds. Those are usually the type of builds that I want to do whenever I end up building in this world. But for this house, for some reason, I was excited to do something different. And I built something in the more polluted version of the world. As you can tell, there's like some trash around, and it's just not really that nice looking. And sometimes that is just a really cool environment to play around with. It's just an entirely different vibe. And I was really enjoying it for this house. So what I decided to do is I built a more rundown, grungy looking family home. And I still tried to make it look like very inviting and very cute. And I think like for gameplay purposes, this would be a lot of fun to play around with, because you can maybe you can play along with the world gameplay. Like if you activate the Modern Developments Neighborhood Action Plan, you can also like change this house over time, like do some renovations over time, give it a paint job, use new roofs, like stuff like that. Because you can also tell that the surrounding houses, like the debug houses that aren't actually playable, but you can still see around, those also look very grungy and run down. And then over time, they all change, and like the entire neighborhood just kind of changes and modernizes, and it's really, really, really cool. So this is one of those houses that I built here that you can kind of just play along with that entire aspect of the gameplay. You can gradually change it over time. You can do some renovations to it. And I think that would be a lot of fun. Me personally, I would be really excited about that. So maybe I kind of want to try that with this house. So that's what I did. And I built on this lot that is actually quite spacious. The house itself is not very big, so I did have a lot of space left. So what I decided to do was to create a side yard as opposed to a backyard, because I didn't really have a lot of space left behind the house, basically. So I went for a side yard, and then I did a garage separate from the house, which I really like. It really fills up the space so nicely. So even though the house is small, I still really enjoy that I like used up the entire lot, basically. There's definitely some space though. If you like want to expand the house, you can definitely do that because we have some space. So that's all nice. There's a lot of possibilities, I guess, with this house, which I really, really like. So yeah, this is a family home, and I did not really have a specific storyline. Well, actually I kind of did. Not necessarily very specific, but I did have like a family in mind. So this house ends up having 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. So there's one hall bathroom downstairs and then one hall bathroom upstairs as well. So no fancy en-suites or anything. Just 2 hall bathrooms, but then it does have 3 bedrooms, which one of them obviously is the parents' bedroom. So I was imagining 2 parents, like a married couple living in this house. And then they have a child. I was thinking about like 6, 7 years old. 6 might be a little bit young for the bedroom that they have, maybe like 7 or 8 years old. And then they have another baby on the way, is what I was thinking. So the smallest bedroom, which is actually really, really small. It's a really tiny bedroom, that one. I turned that one into a small nursery with a crib and everything. So that is all set up for if you have a baby on the way. And then I feel like for a toddler, it still works. It also still works for a kid because you can easily fit a single bed in there. Maybe you can do like a lofted bed or something to save some space. It's definitely possible. It's just a very small room compared to the other one, so that might be a little bit unfair, but it is what it is. So for this house, I was thinking 2 parents, a kid, and then a baby on the way. And so I was thinking that the baby came along kind of unexpectedly. These parents already had a child, and maybe that was already like quite like a bit of a hassle, and that was probably not like the easiest thing to make happen for themselves. But then they eventually did have a kid, and they kind of just stopped trying after that. But then all of a sudden, the mom found herself pregnant again, and now there is another baby on the way. So they needed to make some life changes, because I could really see this family live in an apartment before. So maybe in the same world here, or maybe in San Myshuno, I don't really know, but I was definitely imagining them living in quite a small apartment, because I wasn't imagining this family to be the wealthiest. So they were living in a small apartment, maybe probably already like saving up to move out of the apartment, like buy a little house somewhere at some point. Maybe like a 2-bedroom simple house, but then the mom found herself pregnant again, and now they needed to make some life changes. So they decided to buy this house, which is nice and spacious, but it is in this more grungy neighborhood. It's very run down. It's not the nicest area, but they could afford this one because of that. So they decided to buy this one, and then maybe they really want to make it their life's work to help change the environment, to like help clean up this world, and also gradually over time make changes to this house, like clean it up, do some renovations, stuff like that. So over time they kind of want to make that happen, but for now they kind of just moved in because they could afford it, and it gave them more space, and they needed the space sooner rather than later. So that's kind of what I was thinking storyline wise for this family. So I still tried to make this look as family friendly and cozy as possible, even though it is very run down and grungy. It isn't necessarily like gross or anything on the inside. I didn't like play around with dirty stains and cracks and all that. I didn't really do that. I did use some cracks like in the brick for the exterior, but I didn't really do that on the interior. I could have probably, but I didn't want to make it look too gross. So I still wanted to make it look like very cozy and family friendly, or like family oriented, I guess. So that's what I went with, but it's definitely not the nicest place, and it could use some tender love and care. So yeah, I thought that would be a really fun gameplay aspect. And the furniture on the inside of the house also isn't the nicest. It's very mismatched. There are some furniture pieces that are very matchy-matchy. I did end up using, for some reason, a lot of base game, because we do have some furniture sets from the base game that are very IKEA-ish looking, and then also a little bit more outdated IKEA-ish looking, if that makes sense. So that is kind of what I went with. I could really see these people just, you know, search on the marketplace and just like go to secondhand stores and buy the cheapest stuff they could find, which is probably some IKEA stuff that's already a little bit outdated, like stuff like that. So cheap furniture that's also outdated makes it even more cheaper. Like stuff like that is what I was thinking for this house. And I think it turned out really, really cool. So I was really, really having so much fun with the landscaping for this one. I created a bunch of pathways in and out of the backyard, and we have this separate garage, of course. And we have this really cool grass. I think the grass that I lined basically the entire fence with, and also the garage. The grass is from, I think it's from Cottage Living. So that was a really cool feature to use. And then I just used a lot of plants. The place is very overgrown. We have some random tires lying around and just very overgrown landscaping and some trees everywhere, but it's not the worst looking. I still feel like this house, as gross as it might be, I feel like it still looks really cute. I would love to have a place like this in real life and like renovate it over time. I think that'd be so cool. And it's quite a spacious house, so that is actually really cool. And then we also downstairs actually have like a separate closed off study. It's very small. But you could easily turn that into another bedroom if you wanted to, or you could just turn it into something else. You could keep it a study as well, of course. So that's all up to you. But I feel like the house is very customizable and definitely perfect for the family that I was picturing as well. I also really, it's a small detail, but I really like the debug bike that I parked by the garage. It's a very rusty, old looking bike. It's a debug item from, I don't recall. Maybe also cottage living, actually. That is definitely a possibility. But it's a really cool looking bike. And then I also parked a van, which is also obviously debug, because we don't have functioning cars in The Sims 4. Who knows, at some point, you know? I don't know. I don't have high hopes though. It would be cool. So yeah, I played around with some debug fences as well to kind of like merge into the base game fence that I'm using. Yeah, to just kind of add a little bit more detail here and there. And I added some details to the roof as well. The house itself, like shape-wise, is very, very simple. It's literally just a box with one bump out. And then that's it. We have a tiny little back porch where I ended up placing the outdoor bins and stuff. So yeah, it's nothing really that crazy. I feel like the landscaping and like the layout of the lot, like the entire lot, including the garage and the backyard, kind of makes it have its, like, kind of gives it its personality. I feel like that is really like saving this build in the sense of it makes it look a lot more interesting that way. But I also wanted to like show that the parents have really been trying to turn this like into like a cozy family home already, even though it's very run down, even though they really need to do some renovations, they can't right off the bat. So they try to work with what they have and they try to make it look as cozy as possible and as family friendly as possible. They try to make it a nice house with a nice backyard for their kid that they already have to just play and just grow up and have the best time. Basically, I feel like the kid, they would be like 6, no, maybe like 7 or 8 years old. So I feel like the kid wouldn't really care all that much. But still, I can totally imagine the parents maybe feeling bad moving into a house that's pretty gross. Not necessarily gross, but like run down. So they try to make it as cozy as possible with the stuff that they have. And maybe the previous owners actually left some stuff, like some furniture pieces that they kind of like repurposed. I could definitely see that as well. So maybe they were lucky in the sense that there was some furniture pieces left that probably aren't the prettiest either, but still, you know, it makes sense. But yes, we are moving on to the interior of this house. You can see the hallway come together. It's very cramped in there, but it is very nice. So we have like the hallway, and then we have the staircase right there, and then we also have a door leading into the downstairs bathroom as well. So yeah, that's what I did. And actually later on, I didn't do that right off the bat, but later on I decided that this family would have a cat, because I was thinking because they moved from an apartment to a house, maybe they surprised their child, like their 7-year-old, with a kitten, because maybe they wanted a kitten. That is definitely, I could really see that like being like a cute little storyline idea, because they're moving into a house with a backyard so they can finally have a pet. I could imagine the kid wanting a pet like for years, like asking for a pet for Christmas, for their birthday, but they couldn't do it because they were living in an apartment before. Maybe pets weren't allowed. But now pets are allowed because they live in a house with a backyard. So I could totally see them surprising their kid with a kitten. Or something that came to mind later is maybe the people that used to live here before were really not so nice people. Maybe they used to have a cat, but they kind of left it behind. And then the people moving into the house decided to like adopt it with the house and just take care of it and make it their family cat and like provide for it and make sure it has the best life possible. So that is also a possibility. You can choose which one you like best. So those are kind of like the storyline ideas for the cat that kind of came to mind. But here you can see we're playing around with the living room. I'm using these love seat couches from the base game, and this is exactly what I mean. Like the furniture set that I used in the living room is exactly what I mean when I say like more outdated, old IKEA-ish type furniture. Because these couches, they're very basic. They look very IKEA-ish, but also very like outdated and not very comfortable at all. So that is totally something I could see. And then the same goes for the side table that I cluttered up with a light and some postcards, and also the TV, like the end table where I placed the TV and some books and stuff. It kind of like, it's all the same like matching furniture set. And then they have a coffee table that is from high school years. I feel like this neutral swatch, it's very mismatched with the rest of the living room, but it kind of still makes sense. I think it's really, really nice. So that's definitely like a secondhand piece. Maybe that was left behind in the house as well. That is definitely possible. And then I most definitely cluttered up the house as well. I really, really wanted it to make like very cluttered and cozy and just very lived in. That was definitely my goal for this one. But the house itself is pretty small, so I didn't want there to be any routing issues either. So I tried to keep that in mind as well. But yeah, building this family house, I talked about this in my previous video. That was a legacy challenge episode, actually. You have probably already like heard of the most recent Sims news and how they showed us like the roadmap for the upcoming, I think 3 months is what it usually is for. And it's most definitely going to be something family related because all the clues and everything, it's all related to family and like family gameplay. And that is so exciting. So a lot of us, like a lot of people in the Sims community are hoping for a generation style family or like a generation style expansion pack. And I would be so excited if that was the case. Like I would lose it. I would be so over the moon. I have never, which is really strange, I have never actually played The Sims 3. But I have heard of The Sims 3, the Generations pack. It's really weird that I haven't played The Sims 3. I know this is really strange because I have played Sims literally all my life. I started playing The Sims when I was, I think, 8 years old. And then I played The Sims 1, I played The Sims 2, and then The Sims 3 came along, but I was just, I don't know, in a different phase of my life for some reason. I totally skipped that one. And then The Sims 4 came out and I was hooked again. So that's kind of what happened. Very long story short, that's what happened. So I never actually played The Sims 3 Generations, but I have watched videos on it and people love that pack. It's a very well loved pack for The Sims 3. So I think it'd be so cool if they did some sort of a generation style pack, because we also have like the infant update coming and I'm so excited for that as well. I'm also scared because I'm playing the 100 baby challenge over on Twitch. I live stream on Twitch as well, and I have a 100 baby challenge there. And we only started it a few months ago, so we're on baby, I think almost baby 20. So we're not that far along. So we're gonna have struggles whenever the infants come along. Like that is going to be so scary and it's going to be so overwhelming, but I'm also very excited about it. So I actually can't wait to see what that is going to bring us. I'm very excited. I'm very scared, but I am, like I said, excited to see. Maybe we're probably going to get some better stuff for like nurseries. That's what I was thinking about when I was actually furnishing the nursery for this house, as well as, I really wanted like a changing table. I do create like makeshift changing tables a lot, which I always really enjoy. I just like merge an ottoman into a dresser and then that looks really cute. But like functional changing tables, just think about it. That would be so cute. I actually am so excited for that to happen. So I think that, we're not sure if that is actually coming to The Sims 4, but like changing tables, but that would be cool if that came with like the infant update. And just more nursery like decorations and furniture in general would be so amazing. We have some cute cribs in The Sims now. We have like a really, really cute new crib that came with the werewolves pack. So I love that one, but I don't know. I want more. I want more stuff for baby rooms and toddler rooms with that as well, because I feel like we're kind of lacking in that department as well. So that would be such a lifesaver and that would be so, so exciting. So yeah, let me know. Are you excited for the potential Generations pack? They're probably going to tell us more about it on January 31st, because that's when The Sims is going to have like an actual live stream and probably update us on these things. So that's exciting. Maybe they'll announce the pack. Who knows? Maybe not. You never know what's going to happen with these live streams, but I'd be surprised if they didn't like tell us, at least gave us more hints on what the pack is going to be. So I'm very excited about that, but let me know, would you be excited for more family related, family oriented gameplay, or are you not excited about that? And then also in that like picture of the roadmap, if you haven't seen it, I feel like we have all seen it by now, but if you haven't seen it, you can just look it up on The Sims Twitter. On the picture, the roadmap picture, there was also all the way on the right side, there was like a lighthouse. What does that mean? Because on the left side, you could kind of see like a Golden Gate kind of inspired bridge. But then on the other side, there was a lighthouse. So what does that mean? Is that going to be all the same world, or is it going to be two different worlds? Are we going to get like a more another coastal inspired world as well? And I'm hoping for like a city inspired world that is going to give us, like Evergreen Harbor, where we're building right now, both regular lots, but also apartments. Is really what I'm hoping for, like another one of those combination type worlds where I hope it's going to be a little bit like more apartments than Evergreen Harbor, but also still like some regular lots, if that makes sense. So like another city world, but with more regular lots as well. That is most definitely what I'm hoping for. But then the lighthouse thing, what is that? Because in the Sims Summit, if you remember that, they showed us some concept art of potential new build stuff that was also very like rustic and somewhat coastal looking. So does that go hand in hand with the lighthouse and the roadmap? Is that the same as the Generations pack, or is it something completely different? Like, I don't know. I have so many questions, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm super excited for this new year and like to see new content coming to The Sims 4 because I'm definitely craving that. I have been really enjoying building with custom content, mostly to just do smaller build rooms for like shorts and stuff, but it's been such a nice like breath of fresh air, and that tells me that I'm just craving new stuff. I am craving new stuff for The Sims 4, so I can't wait to see what's coming. And let me know what you think. What are you hoping for? What are you most excited for? Are you excited to see the baby, like the infant update? What do you think about that? Just let me know your thoughts. Let's chat about this. Because I'm super excited for this new year and new stuff coming to The Sims 4. But I totally talked over basically the entire ground floor. You could see us do the kitchen. You could see us do a little bathroom downstairs, and then also the office space. Oh my God, I couldn't think of that word. Yeah, the office space downstairs. And that is when I decided that this family would have a cat, because I have the perfect little square to place a cat tree. So that's what I did. And then, yeah, I just added a little food bowl to the kitchen as well. The kitchen is also very outdated. I used base game counters. The more industrial looking counters, they're actually very expensive in the game, but they also look a little bit like industrial, outdated, not super pretty, more functional than pretty, if that makes sense. Even though I love them, I love the look of them, but you know, you kind of probably understand what I was going for. And then we also have a little breakfast table in the kitchen, but that one isn't actually functional because I alt placed the chair so that it didn't snap to the table. So you can't actually use that one. And then here we have the parents' bedroom. And so what you could see for this, what I tried at least, what you can probably see is that the carpet in this bedroom is really gross, and this bedroom is not the prettiest. It's cozy, but it's not the prettiest. But then you can see that for the nursery and also the kids' room, they definitely did spend the money to repaint the room and put in new carpet, or at least clean out the carpet that was already there. Because maybe if you were to renovate a house, maybe you wouldn't. I mean, personally, I wouldn't put carpet in. I would put like wood floors or something. Maybe these people would put in carpet though, but you can really tell that they put in new carpet or cleaned the carpet for the kids' room. I used this really cool carpet that came with the, oh my gosh, was it with the pastel pop kit? Yeah, probably. I have never used this one with the funky patterns and colors. So I was very excited to try it out for this house because it looks clean, but also outdated. So that makes me think that maybe this used to always be a kid's room and there used to be carpet in here already, but they just really spent the money to properly clean it and make it look like brand new, basically. Or they went to the store with the kid and told them that they could choose their own carpet and they chose this. That's also definitely a possibility. Maybe they did that actually. That could also be cute. But this room is very pink, teal, blue. We have all the colors going on. We have some yellow in here as well. It's crazy. This room is definitely very much very different from the rest of this house. It's its own little thing. And I thought that would make sense for the storyline a lot because, like I said, they probably really wanted this kid to have like a good experience moving out of the city into a new house that's not the nicest, but they still wanted them to have their own space where they feel safe and where they can spend time and play. So they probably let them pick out their own like furniture, their own colors for the room. So it's really crazy. We have a bright pink closet or a wardrobe in there as well, which is kind of crazy, but they probably spend the time to just all paint that themselves. Because obviously they can't really afford brand new furniture, but they can afford secondhand and then just like paint it, stuff like that. So that's probably what they did for the kid. And then here we have the nursery. The nursery is very, very small, but still very cute. The carpet in here is very clean as well. So either brand new or just properly cleaned. They spent the money on that because obviously they want the nursery to be the best it can be for the newborn baby that's on the way. Yeah, so that's kind of what they did and what they chose to spend the money on in the first place. And then now they're probably like saving up to do renovations over time. I don't know, what would be the first thing to renovate in a house like this? Maybe the kitchen? Maybe you wanna repaint it? Maybe, I don't know. I think the kitchen would be, or like the bathrooms, probably like expensive stuff like plumbing and things is what I would go for first. But honestly, what do I know? I don't know. But here in the nursery, you can see that we have some like older, more outdated looking furniture as well. So probably from like a secondhand store or something where they just found the stuff that I liked, and it's a little bit mismatched, but still kind of works together is what I was going for. And then after the nursery, I did not record the upstairs bathroom because that would be a little bit too, I don't know, maybe a little bit too repetitive. It's basically the same as the downstairs bathroom, just in a slightly different layout. And then here we have the backyard. You can see that we have like a tiny back porch where I had the perfect nook for 2 outdoor trash cans. So that is what I did. And then we have a little extended terrace area here where I put a picnic bench because that one looks pretty old and it was probably already here. I was thinking that the previous owners just left that there. So we have like a picnic bench with an umbrella, but then they added their own like patio furniture. Maybe they already had that in their apartment on like a tiny balcony or something. I could totally see that. So they brought over their own patio furniture, like a little couch and stuff. And we also have laundry in this house. I placed laundry in the kitchen. So we have a washer as well as a dryer, but I thought it'd be cool to like place the clothesline anyway, because I just think it's a really fun item to have and it just looks really good in a rundown backyard like this. I don't know, for some reason it just makes sense in here. So I decided to go for the clothesline. So you can choose to either use the dryer or the clothesline. And then we have the monkey jungle bars for the kids to play with. And then over here, I just parked some bikes as well. I thought that would make sense for the parents. And then here we have a garage. The garage is very dark and I didn't really make this one too detailed. I decided to place a woodworking bench because I did have the space in here for some additional activities. But then I also parked a car in here. Maybe this is their second car because you can see that they have a van and then they also have this car. So maybe one of the parents uses the van for like their job or something, for work. That is most definitely a possibility. Maybe one of the parents could be like a plumber or something, and maybe they have a van to drive around to clients, stuff like that could definitely be possible. And then they have this second car as well. And then here in the garage, I placed a little Christmas tree for storage, and I placed the season storage boxes, like the decoration boxes as well. And then I just placed some like decorations on the wall and just some little knickknacks. But that is it for this build. So let's jump into the game and I'll show you the house in real time. So here we have the house in the game. It kind of sticks out because most of the other houses are very light colored and this one is the complete opposite. This one is very dark. But that's okay. I still feel like it blends in nicely. So as you can see, the lot is very messy. We have a lot of flowers and grass and it's very overgrown and stuff. It's a little bit gross. So here we have the separate garage with some trash bags and a bike and a car and stuff. And then back here we have a gate leading into the backyard as well. And I really like this detail with the basketball hoop and then the balls and stuff here on the floor. I really enjoy that. But yeah, over on this side, we have the front porch with the front door. They definitely have some trash to clean up, as you can see. And then when you walk through the front door, we have the hallway. I really like this entryway. It's nothing special, but it still feels very realistic and cluttered. We have like keys and bags and shoes and coats, and it's just, it looks very lived in. And then through this archway, we enter into the also cluttered living room. I later on decided to also put some cushions on the couches to just make it look a little bit more like family friendly and cozy. So everything in here is very brown and gray, and it looks like my curtains got yoinked. I don't know, maybe some Sims came here and stole my curtains. I don't know what happened, but on the gallery version of this build, there are curtains on this window as well. That's rude, honestly. But yeah, then over here we have another archway leading us into the dining room. So we have a 5-seater dining table, and then off of the dining room, we have the back door leading into the yard. And through here, we have the kitchen. I love this kitchen. It looks very lived in and somehow cozy still. It's not pretty, but it's nice. And then I ended up placing the food bowl for the cat over here in the corner. So if you're looking for that, it is over there. And on this side, we have the microwave and then the laundry as well. Off of the kitchen, we have the office space. So here we have a desk and a family computer, also a cat tree and a guitar as well for some skill building. I thought that would be cool. And off of the entryway over here, we have the downstairs bathroom. So this one only has a shower because I needed a place for a litter box as well. So I placed the litter box down here. Then when we go upstairs, we have the landing. I ended up placing a built-in wardrobe here for some extra storage space. I thought that would make a lot of sense. We have another cat bed up here and some drawers and whatnot, some laundry. And then this right here is the parents' bedroom. So this one is definitely not pretty, but it looks still very cozy in my opinion. So that's what I like about it. I merged some wardrobes together to make it look like one big wardrobe essentially. And we have a laundry basket over here as well. And then next to the parents' bedroom, we have the kids' room. This one is just a breath of fresh air, I feel like, because it's so colorful. It is so bright. It's very messy, but it's a nice room for a child. So they do have their desk as well as a little journal, so they can do that for an activity. They obviously have their bed and their wardrobe situation. And then over here, they have some toys. So they have a Blarfy and a toy box. Not very many toys for the kid, but we do have the jungle bars in the yard as well. So I feel like that's nice. And then we have the basketball hoop, of course, as well. So they can use that. And then over here, we have the nursery, which I also think is really cozy. So we have a crib, we have a Blarfy, and then we have a makeshift changing table with a chair next to it. So nothing special, but definitely cute. And then over here, we have the upstairs bathroom with a shower tub combo because you need to bathe your toddler maybe, so I thought that would come in handy. And then for the rest, just very basic. And then down here, we have the extended terrace with a grill, which I thought would be cute. We have some planters in the corner as well. Outdoor trash cans over there. Also some probably very old and maybe a little bit disgusting looking loungers is what I was imagining, but they still look cute in this backyard nonetheless. We have the clothesline over here and then the monkey jungle bars. And then this sim thinking that this is the front door, but it is in fact not the front door. And then here we have the garage with a woodworking bench, decoration boxes, also a Christmas tree that you can still use. Like when it's Christmas time, maybe you can find a spot for it in the living room or like in the dining room somewhere, and just some decorative shelves as well. But that is basically it for this house. So this rundown family home is up on the gallery. I just now uploaded it to the gallery, so it's on there for you to download. I built it on a 30 by 20 in Evergreen Harbor, and it comes in at just under 79,000 simoleons, so it's not cheap, but it's a large lot, so I feel like it makes sense. But that is going to do it for this video, so I really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download this build off the gallery like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmary Sims. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and on TikTok if you'd like. My username on there is Simmary Sims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so, and if you want to be notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. I also live stream over on Twitch a few times a week, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and give me a follow over on twitch.tv/SimmarySims. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!